It's the High Heel Tea Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Where we speak on real topics that'll make you laugh. Looking good, smelling good, that's a boss chick. Yeah. 6-inch heel, show you how to walk slick. Hey. High Heel Tea with Crystal Lee and Reed Podcast. Hey. High Heel Tea with Crystal Lee and Reed Podcast. Hey. High Heel Tea with Crystal Lee and Reed Podcast. Hey. And it's the podcast, and it's the High Heel.
Yo, Mike Woods here with the High Heels Podcast. Crystal and Reed, shout out to y'all.
Hey, welcome back to the High Heels and Tea Podcast. I'm Crystal Lee.
This is Rihanna.
And y'all, today we are joined by Mike Woods.
The Woods in the house.
Okay.
How you feeling, Mike?
I feel good. I feel blessed. I'm happy to be here with y'all.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the same reason. Why you happy to be here with us?
Well, this is a beautiful Sunday morning. We alive, we well, we healthy. And I'm with beautiful women, so can't go wrong.
Hey, there you go.
Okay, it's the second time we heard that too.
Easy.
Okay, before we kick off into the episode, can you share with the viewers, with the listeners, a little bit more background on who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Michael Woods. I am the co-founder and president of Dream Builders for Equity. Our work is really about transforming the underserved communities, especially in North St. Louis City. We do that by hiring young people ages 16 to 24 and then pairing them with minority contractors to complete rehab. So the youth are being paid between $15 to $20 an hour while they work with us. But the most important thing is they get equity in these houses. So they get some ownership. They get paid when we get paid. That allows them to feel like true bosses. We do that in multiple ways. So they also publish books, so they get 100% ownership of those books. And then we also have House of Vision, which is a retail store where the students are able to not only work there, but also create their own products and sell it directly to consumers.
That's so dope. So if you've really been watching the High Heels and Tea Podcast, you might be a little familiar with Mike and his story because we got the chance to see you at the Greatest Year Ever event.
Shout out to Karan, man. Shout out to Karan.
Got a good glimpse of it, and we were so impressed with everything you shared, your mission, your story. We was like, we got to have him on for a full episode.
For sure.
Yeah, my first question is, like, okay, kids. How is your interaction with that? Do you get like the scared straight kids, or like what is the nature of the kids that you work with?
So it's a full gamut. We got young people from all different backgrounds. We serve 90% Black folks and probably 10% Latinx, but it's the majority young Black men and women. And I love it. I mean, this is the age that I connect with the most. I still remember high school very much. Like, that's still somewhat of the reality that I can live in. So when I'm engaging with the students, I feel like I'm the perfect person to be able to talk to them. From whether it's sports, whether it's academics, whether it's like being dumb and getting in trouble. I got expelled from school, had to go to alternative school in Chicago to be able to graduate. So I can kind of talk all of that language with our young people. And we have super intelligent kids that have great ambition. And that's the same thing with me. Like, I was extremely ambitious early on and young. And if I had the opportunities to, if I knew that there was other opportunities outside of trying to hustle or trying to do it that way, I would have definitely leaned into that. Yeah. But you got to present those opportunities. You got to give young people exposure and opportunity. So that's really what Dream Builders is all about.
That's dope. Man, I just
keep on saying that. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome. I'm just so stunned. You know, I have kids of my own. I don't have nothing against kids, but I'm one of those people that's like,
fuck them kids.
I could never be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with other people's kids and potentially, like, you know, the nature of them. But I understand what you're saying. So I don't want to sound so harsh. I do give kids grace because we all got our own backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of understand a little bit more to why they may act out the way they do or talk the way they do or whatever. But still, I still got that old nature in me.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that. I get that.
I have to squirrel over there.
I think it's, look, they bucking back now.
They like, sit down, you little.
So how bad was you to go to Chicago for a turn to school?
So are you from here? Or
I'm from St. Louis. Yeah, I'm from St. Louis.
Sit out to your uncle's house in Chicago.
Man, that's right now. They're hella away.
What is that?
He got to get away from the loop.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air. You said the Uncle House. That's what made me say that.
I know.
But nah, so nah,
Okay.
I don't think I was bad. I think I was ambitious. I was a straight A student. I won state in basketball, all conference point guard. Like I think I was doing everything right. But at that time, I was in the center of Walnut Park, lived on Robin. Uh, the people
Just
I
the
was
environment.
exposed to was hustling. And again, if I'm being ambitious, if you hustling, I
Counterproductive.
want to hustle too, and I want to see if I can hustle harder or do more or do better. And I think because I was also um, somewhat loud with it, it got myself into a lot of trouble. So I ended up getting expelled and couldn't go to no more schools in Missouri for hustling. But the blessing was I was able to go to Chicago. Alternative school out there was kind of crazy, but it was an opportunity that allowed me to graduate early. So I
That's
graduated
awesome.
and was able to then come back to St. Louis, attend college, and do my thing.
That's crazy. I'm just tripping off that you got put out of all the schools
St. Louis.
in Missouri. He said you can't even go to no schools in Missouri. Not a
It was either that or go to jail.
That's-
So I was
that's
like,
crazy.
let me
Like,
go
I'm
on.
gone.
Yeah, let me get out of
When I
here.
was younger, a teenager, I actually used to talk to a dude who was bad in school, and his mom and them sent him out to Chicago to
go to
figure.
school. That's funny.
So we had a little long distance situation
It's
for a
tough.
minute.
That's
Yeah.
a sad moment.
That's-
That
yeah.
separation be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. It's like, like when you coming back? So only got a chance to see him on like holidays and stuff like that. But you know that faded out obviously.
Of course, you're a
Anyway.
kid.
Yeah.
No, I definitely remember that leaving, especially how committed I was to St. Louis, how much I loved it, and I was at the peak of everything. We had just won state.
What school was
This is at Lutheran North. I transferred from Review Garden. Shout out to all my Review folks, Bessie Moline folks. But then going to Lutheran North and being able to win state, I'm excelling in every way that you can excel and getting money in the loop. So
He was getting
when
money.
you go
Versatile.
when you go to Chicago and you missing all of that, you don't got you don't get to do no more basketball, you don't get to have no more opportunities for scholarships. All of that is on. Man, I was so sad. I was in there, but I knew also in that moment that I was going to be able to use that story and kind of going back
Choices and
to
decisions.
That's awesome.
that's facts, man. And going back to what you was just talking about with the young people, that's why I feel so connected to them. That was like a trauma moment. So you kind of get stuck in those traumas. And now I'm able to talk to the young people whenever I see them doing the dumb stuff that I did or going down the wrong path. I'm able to actually have real conversations with them and tell them, not only that, a lot of times people can't sympathize with people. I can actually empathize in those cases and say, hey, I remember when that happened to me. This is what I did to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I think that builds a strong bond. And that's with the entire Dream Brothers family. Like we got some amazing, all of the adults that's surrounded in this organization are all cold entrepreneurs that got real lived experiences that's super successful. So the students get to see themselves in us and we get to see ourselves in them too.
That's awesome.
So, and I know get to your questions. When for me, I'm a teen mom, so I was. So I resonate a lot with that, right? And I remember like being a part of different foundations, especially like targeting teen moms and things, and just trying to show like this was many years ago, like maybe let's say 10, 15 years ago, like, okay, you don't have to be another statistic because, the statistic that comes with having kids in your teen years, and you can be great, you can be better, you can be successful, but now especially, like, especially my oldest daughter, this is my middle girl here, but my oldest one was here. You wouldn't even know it was my daughter, But
Look
yeah,
at her.
yeah, you wouldn't even know. I like that. I ain't gonna
Who
lie.
would she be to you?
Who? My oldest? What you mean?
Who would she be? Who he think she would be to you?
Probably just a sister or something.
Okay.
She hate that though. She hate when people be like, "That's your mama." Like, how old is your mama?
But yeah, I wanted her to say it.
Yeah, we
I
have
think,
we
yeah.
have to do the math. I'd be like, I had my oldest at 15, and so. I resonate. So I understand what you're saying. So I can do teen moms. I just can't do no regular, badass kids.
I feel you.
No teen kids. You can be
Yeah,
mom. Because they got more responsibility.
Huh?
They got more responsibility. They
With
have
the
more
moms?
understanding. Yes.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, when you're a teen mom, for me, I was told like my life was over. I
Yeah,
was told,
yeah.
you know, I had to drop out. I didn't actually graduate from high school with a 4.0 GPA. I was the
Okay.
captain of the track team,
Talk
went to
that
college.
talk.
Like,
Talk that
I
talk.
didn't everything that everyone
Said you
told.
couldn't.
couldn't
Yeah.
do. I did that and more, you know. And so a lot of
And look
times,
at you now.
right? And a lot of
Facts.
times, I feel like kind of with what you provided is representation,
For
you
sure.
know, for that
Exactly.
environment. Like
Exactly.
when you are surrounded, whether it's your family, your neighborhood, your environment, whatever, and you don't have any representation that's
Facts.
aside from what you see,
That's all you think that's
that's all
available.
you know.
That's it.
And I'm get back to you, but I remember when I was having my daughter, it was the nurse that was there to take care of me in the hospital. She was like, "I heard you was 15." I was like, "Yeah," and I was so used to getting beat down that I
About
thought
it.
she was about to, you know what I'm
you
saying,
down.
kind of beat me down. She was like, "I'm gonna let you know now." She was like, "Don't let this keep you down." She was like, "Get back up." She's like, "You're gonna be somebody. You're gonna be successful." And I for the
And
life of me, I
that's
don't know
what you
who she
needed.
was, but I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, you
That was
need
just
that.
God.
Yeah,
That was
you need
God
that.
reminding you that you that bitch.
Yeah, I had a vendetta though. I had to out for everybody. I was like, "Yeah, you know,
You were like, fuck you.
you
get
came
away
up on me."
from
Could you tell that was gonna be a moment that changed your life and for the better? Like, was that ever like a moment
Pivoting
when it
moment.
was pivoting moment? Is probably perfect.
For me, it was. So for me, I kind of. Okay, so for me, then it was like I was alienated a lot, right? Like my friends, their mom didn't want them playing with me or having friendships with me
Fast.
because they felt I wasn't fast. I just was fucking.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
didn't know.
but no, yeah, your daughter fucking too. Look, you don't know your daughter fucking like me.
I
But
just didn't know.
But no, I just kept the baby. But no, it alienated me. Family, everybody just alienated me to where I just felt like all I had was me. So I didn't depend on no one. I never sat around and be like, "Auntie, can you watch my daughter? Can you?" I just went the extra
Just
mile.
did.
So
Yeah.
I'm still like that today. Like I always go the extra mile, but I don't operate in the same mindset at all. You know what I mean? Like I don't operate out of like survival.
For sure,
But that's
for
the mode
sure.
that it put me in, and I can't tell you what was the defining moment. I don't know. Everything.
Yeah, it sounds like the
Everything.
experiences you had to be
Yeah.
independent and you
That's a good
continue to have
question.
those experiences.
Man,
It's
I
gonna
got
make
deep.
you super strong for sure.
100%. But within that space, this is what's been in my brain.
Yeah.
At what point in your life did you envision dream builders? Because I'm pretty sure that was.
We got sent
For
to
sure.
Chicago.
Man, I won't say the dream builders came then, but I knew in that moment though. I knew that moment when I'm like, man, I believe that I was a solid dude, a good dude with a good heart. So I never really believed that I should be punished or harmed. So whenever it happened, I'm like, man, something good is gonna come from this. I don't know what it is, but this is gonna set me up to be able to use this story to impact the lives of other people. But when we talk about the vision of Dream Builders, it was myself and Neil Richardson, the other co-founder of the organization. We both was just on fire, like in our lives, in our personal lives. His business life, my business life. I think at that time I had published 4 books. I had a small portfolio of real estate properties. I had a partnership with the gym where I was running my personal training company. I had created with my other homie, Erg, a community organizing group called Connected St. Louis.
I got a question
And
about that. Yep.
and so me and Neil was like, how do we give this stuff back to young people? And Neil was working at US Bank, CDC, killing it, getting promotion after promotion. He also had a small portfolio of real estate properties. And we wanted to give all of our lived experiences to young people. Like we wanted them to be able to do the same things we do, but without having to bump their heads as much as we did. So it was really just us growing and scaling as human beings, and then saying how do we make more of us, or how do we give people opportunities
That's so
to do
cool.
things similar to us.
That is dope.
I know
He's
you
just
said
a
you
dope
got a
individual.
question. Yeah.
Okay, with the connected, how do you become a part of that connected
For
organization?
sure. Well, me, man, you come straight to me. We have figured it out. We trying to grow that family as much as we can. And Connected is really about supporting black-owned businesses. So we identify all of the black-owned businesses, especially if you got brick and mortar, and we try to bring out 40 to 100 people and encourage them all to patronize that space within an hour or 2 hours. So you get an influx of cash in 2 hours. You get as much media attention as we can possibly provide, connect y'all with different resources, and then we out of there. And then hopefully those relationships continue to build and you continue to get more and more people to visit. So we ask them to do nothing. We do all of the lifting, come into that space, and then pollute it with dollars.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's definitely awesome.
Man, look.
Look, in my head, I'm just like, I need to put a vendor event together with shoe retail business and just have us all come.
Let's go. Spend them dollars. Yeah.
I do got some
100%. And we can just
So something that stood out with what you were saying, as you continue to grow, you really got the chance to kind of like pipeline all these different avenues, and you did them through partnerships. How is that like working with different people from a partnership standpoint?
For sure. I mean, that's my preferred way of interacting with people, like especially business wise. So we have a unique model with Dream Builders. Our team, none of us are quote unquote employees. We all are coming into the space as owners of the departments that we do. So like the folks that lead the construction with Dream Builders, they also run their own construction company outside of Dream Builders and inside of Dream Builders. So instead of it being a boss employee relationship, it's a client contractor relationship. And that creates way more buy-in, it creates way more love, and it creates understanding that we all getting money together. So if Dream Builders grow, your business grow. If your business grow, Dream Builders grow. And that's how everything is connected. From Dr. Kendall Ware, who runs our program, and he also has his own textbooks that he's able to sell. Nikki, who runs our operations and development, so she does fundraising for Dream Builders, but also does fundraising for other entities outside of Dream Builders as well. We're just leveraging our skills and leveraging Dream Builders to also enhance our personal businesses. A lot of times when you work somewhere, they only care about how much money you making them. That's all they thinking about. They don't give you any opportunities to create generational wealth for yourself and your family. And this model is about how do we allow all the individuals that's connected to making this impact, how do we also scale and grow our personal brands, and how do we leverage the Dream Builders credibility to add to our credibility, because we're the one doing the work.
That is dope. It's like basically you guys are taking your essential tools that you already have within your space, and you're coming together and collabing and creating a more powerful mainstream pipeline that we need.
There we go. That's how it should be, man. That's how it should be.
She summed it up. She summed your 3 minutes up.
That was good. That was clean. That's clean. For sure.
Like, this what we doing.
No,
She's gonna be like, so technically you just want an egg sandwich with cheese.
Look, efficient.
With
That
a
was
jelly on it.
efficient. That was efficient right there. That's efficient.
Yeah, egg with cheese. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. That's super dope.
Super awesome.
I know you mentioned that you're an author. You have 4 books down. What's the next step for that? Are you planning to write more books? And what were your previous books about?
So thank you for that. Yeah, I think the book piece is a very important piece. That's what allowed me to pivot into this space. The first book I ever published was called "I Would Never Kill a Black Man," and this is me coming from somewhat being in the streets and being considered tough and doing all of the crazy
It's the
stuff.
alternative school in Chicago.
When I announced that book and was able to say that title, it gave me an opportunity to change whatever perspective or perspective people had about me, or perception people had about me. And I think that's super powerful. So again, going into the next stages of my life, I have another book that I'm working on. It's called Completionist. It's the opposite of perfectionist. I really believe in getting things done. I think if you get things done, you get more opportunities to make it perfect. A lot of times people get caught in the making it perfect and they never start or they never do the thing. So a lot of my success, I believe, is built from, hey, I just go out there, I jump and I do it. And then as I'm doing it, I'm so persistent and consistent that I'm allowed to make it better.
You're going to learn so much along the way, add to it, and perfect it from there.
And that's exactly what I'm hoping to capture on paper. Along with capturing that on paper, we're also working as a team to create the blueprint for Dream Builders. We're getting a lot of growth within the organization, raising a lot more money, making a lot more money. And now we're trying to figure out how do we go to different cities and different states? How do we scale it and make it a real Fortune 500 company? So we're documenting all of our processes, making those things super clear and methodical, and then with the hopes of being able to duplicate it. So I'm hoping that while this book is being completed, also the blueprint is being completed, and then this will be an opportunity to talk about that in different cities and different
Spread
states.
it. It's needed.
Spread it, yep.
So you already be traveling, right, to different events. I saw you just in New Orleans. Do you take those opportunities to plant those seeds where you can expand the framework to these different cities?
Absolutely. I mean, and this, like, again, I appreciate you two for allowing me to be on this podcast. Like, the biggest thing when it comes to nonprofits is visibility. Like, people got to know that you exist, know that, you know, you're creating real impact. So everywhere I go, like, it's not a place that I step where I'm not, you know, singing the praises of Dream Builders and singing the praises of the impact and how the impact could grow with more support. So absolutely, yeah, it's no place that I go where I'm not carrying that Dream Builders flag for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being something that's like, I want to use the word easy, but it's like a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to expand this type of framework. It's a no-brainer to expand this mission across different cities because although, you know, a lot of times people be like, oh, I'm from St. Louis. You don't know me. I'm from Chicago. You're like, we all kind of have similar experience no matter where the city is. It's just a different location. So the stories are definitely, that you know, could be transparent enough to connect across, you know, different places.
Across the regions.
Yeah.
That's
What you got coming up next?
Coming up next, so we have a book signing, man. Our students just published 2 new books, and we're going to have a book signing January the 4th at our headquarters. Yeah.
That's my birthday.
Oh, January 4th, Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. January 7th. We gang.
Terry a Capricorn too.
Yeah,
Capricorn. Hey, we run stuff. When yours? Hey. Yeah, you right. You the day after me.
Willie a water sign like
Head
me.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah, water. We're at least water signs. You know, we ain't Capricorn.
Look, I respect it. I respect it. You know.
But we trumping y'all.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's, you know, I mean, hey, no disrespect. But no, January 4th. January 4th.
You were thinking it.
I'm super excited about it. It's gonna be dope because it's not only a book signing, but it's a fashion show too. So we have House of Vision, where our students are able to create their own products. So they're going to be able to create this amazing fashion show in partnership with my bro Hump, and then also AK Brown. If y'all haven't connected with Hump or AK Brown, I would definitely connect y'all. They are amazing people, really leading the fashion industry. You got Icon with my bro Hump, and then you got the Advisor magazine that AK just put out, and she's also a professor over at SIBA. And they are also going to be coming together to help us put together this book sign and help us plan it and figure out everything to make it perfect and smooth for everybody.
That would be definitely dope. And it'd also be dope if you invited the High Heels and Tea podcast to come out and do
easy.
interviews
Done.
You know,
for your event prior to.
can we, you know,
Hey, look, for sure.
what are, like, with the kids when they write their books, what are some of the common topics that they, or titles that they go
talk
for,
about,
things that they talk about?
So they talking about their journey. So they're writing down their experiences with Dream Builders, but they're also talking about their personal stories, man. We have some amazing students. Like, I know a lot of times when people hear about Dream Builders, they think immediately construction. But some of our, we just got one of our like 20 students just became a dentist. So he's a doctor making bread where he's going to be donating over to Dream Builders. I hope you hear that, Dr. Ryan. You know, you gotta send us a bag, bro. But we have
now too now.
look, man, we got connections.
Should be
man.
good. Should be good.
We got connections.
But just know I need you.
Yeah.
We got another one of our students that's becoming an amazing journalist too. So he writes so well in all of the stories, in all of the books. But it's really them telling their stories, man. From, you know, we got students that've been shot. Like, they get to explain that story and how they became the best version of themselves today. So yeah, it's really them just being their authentic self. And that's the point of the book too, is that I want them to see and know that you can get paid by just being you. Like you don't have to change nothing. Like you can genuinely be your authentic self
And that's
and
so
then be
awesome.
celebrated.
That you're allowing them to create a voice for themselves. Because that's one thing that I would say that we didn't really have in our generation. Because it's important for us to have a voice, and as well as to get our story out, because it helps us to be better people.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. And it's dope that and I'm glad you clarified that, because when you hear dream builders, you definitely think of construction, but it's something that you created that allowed the kids to have something positive to do.
For sure.
You know, while whatever it is you want to do in life, you still can do those things, but here's something positive you can do today, and
These
also
are your options.
build equity, etc.
For sure.
So that's dope. That's so
Sure. And I love that you was hitting on that being heard, giving them voices. Like that's a lot of the problem too. It's like people don't feel heard. They don't feel like they get the opportunity to have a say in the things. So,
That's because our parents like, shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Go sit in your room.
Yeah, for
You want to
sure.
talk about what?
That's facts, man. That's facts.
You know what though, as a parent, from me personally, like based off of my own experience, I try to just definitely talk to my kids a lot. But some conversations are really definitely hard to have.
Oh, yeah.
And I have this thing with my girls. I have all girls, so I have this thing with them where like I play a lot, I joke a lot, I do all that. But I'll be like, if you for real need to talk to me, like be like, nah, mama, for real, that's our little cute. And I'd be like, damn, this shit hard. I'm like, give me 10 minutes.
Let me think about it.
Let me like, you know, but the thing sometimes that I have to talk to them about or talk to them through, you know, it be hard.
It's real.
And so it's easier to be like, man, get the hell out of my face.
Just imagine, I got all boys.
Yeah. It's hard. It's like, shit, hard. It's hard to talk to y'all.
Man, stuff
But
they
it's
want to talk to
good.
me about. I be like,
It's good. I'd rather
I don't want to talk about that.
you come to me than your little friends and
sure.
they get misguided.
No, they need real guidance.
And that's how I end up pregnant at 15. I was misguided.
Exactly.
I think that also speaks to like the
Around her,
importance of
think you got a balloon in your stomach.
that's funny.
You want to, real quick, before we end this episode, I'm going to share this.
Okay.
I never talked about this. Okay, so real quick, I remember being one of the things I shared with my oldest daughter about how I became a teen mom was because of lack of education. Number one, you know, of course we know like you strap on, you know, to prevent pregnancy, but you a kid, if you're doing certain things, you just feel immortal. There are adults that feel like they're immortal to consequences of their actions, right? So I remember going to my best friend like, girl, I ain't had a cycle in some months. She was like, are you good? My sister, sometimes she come on, sometimes she don't, right? So I was like, oh, cool. When I found out I was pregnant, I was almost 5 months. But her sister was on birth control.
That's what her.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah. That's education right there. No.
Yeah.
That false confidence. You like, I'm good.
Look, stomach just growing and
Like,
growing.
oh, this what happened.
People in the neighborhood like, Crystal, you pregnant? Like, nah. I was running track and field.
I just like to eat. I just like to eat a lot.
I'm like, yeah, it's just like this when I eat pickles.
That's funny.
So yeah, unfortunately. So that was one as a parent. That was my biggest thing. I always educate my girls. I always talk to them. I talk to anybody, but I definitely think that if you be real, transparent, and stop talking at them and talk to them, you can connect with them for sure.
Conversations are needed.
So before we end this episode, it's been real dope learning so much more about you. You got a lot going on.
Man, I appreciate that.
Super dope.
You got
individual.
kids yourself?
No kids, no kids.
Oh, that's why you like kids.
That's why I can. Yeah, that's probably why I can do this. That's probably why I
You
can
have
do
some
it.
kids,
Say
you gonna
it.
be like,
I'm
got
good,
some.
huh?
you gonna be
I'm
like, hey, buy me out.
Yeah,
Buy me out of this.
So do you want kids?
I don't have the desire in this moment, but I think that's because I'm also single. So if I met the right person, maybe I get. But right now, I don't even play with the words. I don't even like.
So no, it's answer.
Yeah,
For all the ladies,
It's a hard no.
it's a hard no.
Come with your tubes tied already.
Get fixed. Get fixed.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay, before we end this episode though, can you share again with the listeners, the viewers, where they can connect with you and everything under your umbrella?
Yes, every social media platform is Dream Builders for Equity. And as far as connected with me, it's Michael Woods 50 on Instagram, Michael Woods on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining
Man,
us.
this is dope. Appreciate you.
Yes, and thank y'all for listening to the High Heels and Tea podcast.
For sure.
Yeah.